But before we get back to doing a little bit more networking, now really, not at all these candidates have introduced themselves to you, and there's other ones here. I mean, there's Wes sitting right there. All the other candidates that are here that didn't make the final 10, final cut. If you're here, raise your hand. If you're here, other candidates, stand up. Stand up. There's one back there in the back. Okay, you had a chance to hear the 10. Now, you didn't get a chance to hear each other 4 or 5 here. So once we break up, have a chance to go talk to them too. Wes is running for Congress. Congress.
State 115 state.
What state house 115?
Third Court of Appeals.
Third Court of Appeals. All right. Right here. Right here.
Eddie Taylor, Congressional District 10.
CD 10.
Eric Claver, United States Congress, District 31, which is Williamson and Bell counties. 31, up I-35 corridor. Yeah.
Bob Bagley, House District 3, Montgomery County, Waller County.
That's a Bob. Good to see you, brother. All right. Any other candidates? Yes, yes.
Big Bob, and I'm running for Travis County Tax Assessor.
All right. So you got these other candidates. They didn't get a chance to address you tonight. But meet them. Shake their hands. Look at them square in the eyeballs. See if they meet your approval as a true conservative candidate. Okay? Y'all do that. Now,
Use the donate button.
and use the donate button. I love you, Bob.
It was proud.
You know, Dean wanted me to sort of say a little bit something tonight to get everybody moving in the right direction. And you guys know that I get a chance to talk to Tea Party organizations, grassroots organizations, pachyderm clubs, Republican women's clubs, all over the state, all over the nation. A few weeks ago, I had a chance to go up to South Carolina in the midst of the South Carolina primary and address the Tea Party convention there. It's one of the very few things, well, it's one of the things that I truly enjoy in life, is having a chance to talk to the saints and patriots. And many of you have heard me speak before, and you know that there's a passage of scripture that I really like referring to when I'm standing before a group of saints and patriots, and it comes out of 2 Corinthians chapter 6. And I want to read it to you again tonight because I believe that it really is a word for our movement and what we're attempting to do here in the state of Texas. It's a word for us as political activists. It's a word for us as patriots. And most importantly, as Texans. But once I read this, there's only a couple of things, not just because of the sake of time, but because of the spirit that's here tonight, that I really want us to focus on. And so I'm going to try to read this. Light's a little bit low, but I should know it by heart by now. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, and it begins in verse number 16. It says, "Do not be yoked together with unbelievers. For what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness? What harmony is there between Christ and Belial? What does a believer have in common with an unbeliever? What agreement is there between the temple of God and idols? For we are the temple of the living God. As God has said, I will live with them and walk among them, and I will be their God, and they will be my people. Therefore, come out from them and be separate, says the Lord. Touch no unclean thing, and I will receive you. I will be a father to you, and you will be my sons and daughters, says the Lord Almighty." Since we have these promises, dear friends, let us purify ourselves from everything that contaminates body and spirit, perfecting holiness out of reverence for God. Amen. Y'all know the drill. When I say no, you say compromise. No. Compromise. No. Compromise. Y'all can do better than that. When I say no, You say surrender. No. Surrender. No. Surrender. When I say no, you say compromise. No. Compromise. No. Compromise. When I say no, you say surrender. No. Surrender. No. Surrender. You know, right here in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, it's a very simple lesson that the Lord is trying to teach us. He's telling us that as believers, we really don't have anything in common with those who are unbelievers. We have different values, different belief system. What we're even warned about in the book of Deuteronomy is that if we find ourselves aligning with those, making allegiance with those who do not have our same belief system, our same values as believers, the danger is that we will be pulled away from the kingdom of God, God's way of doing things. We'll be pulled away from God by linking up with those who don't have our same value system. We could be corrupted. We could find our values being corroded. It's a corrosive force. The political parallel is that as a conservative, I don't have anything in common with a liberal. I don't have anything in common with a collectivist, or a progressive, or a fascist, or a Marxist, or a socialist, or I don't have anything in common with them. It's a different belief system. And aligning with them, forming an allegiance with them, I become endangered, in some instances even entrapped into pulling away from my conservative values, my pro-Constitution, my pro-liberty, pro-life, pro-prosperity values. And as a believer, I'm not supposed to compromise with those, not surrender my values to those who are not believers. And as pro-Constitution, pro-liberty conservatives, I'm not supposed to surrender or compromise either. You see, what happens is, and what we're suffering from here in Austin, forget Washington right now, let's just talk about what's happening down the street, is that you have these guys that are in Austin at 1100 Congress Avenue that believe in compromise, the so-called art of politics, compromise. And so they believe something has to get done. The government has to do something. We have to do something about the budget. We have to do something about it. Let's strike a deal. We have to do something about the maps. Let's strike a deal. Something has to be done about education. Let's strike a deal. On health care, something has to be done. Let's strike a deal. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. No. Let's not have any regard whatsoever for the will of the people, the ones who voted us in here. Let's just make sure that those who have written the checks, who truly are the bosses here in the state of Texas, let's just make sure they are happy because they'll keep giving us money. It's okay to compromise. I scratch your back, you scratch my back, we all get rich, and everybody's happy except those that are supposed to be the represented, those that are supposed to be the bosses. Compromise and surrender. Then they'll come to us and they'll make the argument that they did something that was conservative, but they had to compromise. And so what happens is we suffer from something called gradualism.
That's right.
Gradualism. No, it's not a revolutionary onslaught of socialism that hits us. It's gradual, incremental, because of compromise, because of surrender, because of making deals, because of I scratch your back, you scratch my back, because those that we've sent to Austin will not dig in their heels, will not draw a line in the sand, will not stay on principle, that are too easily compromised and too ready to surrender. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So, there's only two things in this passage, and there's a bunch there. And just that little that I read you, there's a bunch of revelation for us as saints and patriots in Texas for us to take away. But I only want to focus on two things right now. And the first one is where it says, don't touch. Touch no unclean thing. And I'm talking to all of you candidates primarily tonight. And your support staff, your structure. Joe Chow actually brought a lot of his staff with him tonight. Before you candidates, it says, touch no unclean thing. And God's promise is that in doing so, being firm, not compromising, not surrendering, he would bless us. He would bless us. You see, in my way of looking at things, and I'm sure that you'll agree with me, liberalism is unclean. Socialism is unclean. Collectivism is unclean. Fascism is unclean. Communism is unclean. Marxism is unclean. These are, if you want to know what these evil isms are, if you want them defined biblically, they are John 10:10, part A. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That's all them evil isms. Liberalism, socialism, there's no difference in them. They're the devil, all of them, by different names. Steal, kill, and destroy. Now I'm telling you candidates this because when you put your hand on that Bible and you take that oath of office and you walk into that pink granite building down there and all the forces that will line up against you to try and force you to compromise, I want you to remember this: touch no unclean thing. You know, Bob made a campaign pledge about his dedication to prayer and seeking the Lord, seeking the Lord's way. And that's a good pledge.